The Italian Special Intervention Group, GIS, is an elite airborne special operations counter-terrorism tactical response unit inside of the main Carabinieri, a branch of the armed forces responsible for both military and civil policing. During the 70s, Italian political and civil institutions suffered a violent assault by endemic terrorist groups. Although the government had not taken any official initiatives, units were set up in the elite units of the armed forces and police for the development and experimentation of intervention techniques in crisis situations in the presence of hostages. In 1997, following the successful German GSG-9 operation in Somalia that succeeded in freeing 86 passengers and 3 crew members from the terrorist hijacked flight, feasibility studies were immediately carried out. Shortly after, the establishment of the Special Intervention Group was overseen within the Carabinieri. The public debut of the GIS took place in Trani on 29 December 1980. A prison revolt led by terrorists broke out. Dropped onto the roof of the prison by helicopter, masked men quickly regained control of the prison, despite many of the gates being welded shut by the rebels. The unit has taken part in counter-terrorism operations and VIP, executive, and dignitary protection security. Since its creation, GIS has distinguished itself throughout Italy for being efficient and with excellent preparation, and has also operated and operates in several theatres of war, including Afghanistan, Iraq, Africa, as well as in all the countries where the Italian diplomatic officers are at risk. The Special Interventions Group is employed in high-risk special actions against terrorism. The GIS specialises in hostage rescue, prioritising their physical safety, in the reconquest of vital targets and facilities held by terrorists, and the intervention against hijacking. In 2015, with the reactivation of Team Rainbow, 2 GIS operators were recruited to assist in the fight against terrorism on a global scale. These operators were Maestro and Alibi. Adriano Metello, codenamed Maestro, is a defending operator in Team Rainbow. Maestro grew up in Rome and is the eldest of 8. At the age of 18, he attended the military academy of Modena and later joined the Carabinieri in the 1st Paratrooper Regiment, known as Tuscania, as an explorer paratrooper. While on tour, he earned the silver and bronze medals for military valor, and because of this, he was commissioned to sign up with GIS, where he participated in a number of joint operations in Iraq. It was here that he acquired his facial scar, courtesy of a roadside IED. He was involved in multiple actions against homegrown threats in Italy, and eventually became an instructor, helping train Tier 3 units in the Italian military. After Maestro's tour was completed, he went into private consultation. His courses quickly became a top-rated operator bootcamp for teaching advanced techniques to Tier 3 and Tier 2 units, as well as private military companies. The Tuscania eventually convinced Maestro to re-enlist to help upgrade one of the units to a Tier 2 Special Forces classification, and it was from here that he was recruited into Team Rainbow as a representative of the Italian units. Maestro is a natural leader. He had earned the nickname Maestro due to his willingness to sacrifice first place in order to help other soldiers during basic training. While records indicate that some soldiers didn't appreciate the help, it refined Maestro's teaching techniques. His school records note a large number of fights he was involved in, but further investigation showed that it was an attempt to keep his brothers and sisters out of trouble by fighting for them. He initially entered the military to ease his parents' financial burden in the raising of 8 children, and carries that sense of responsibility into his units. He cares about the men and women he serves with, and has an affinity for bringing out the best in others, even if it's with a bit of good-natured bluster and perhaps more vulgarity than some of our more reserved operators are used to. Maestro enjoys cussing for effect, though there is no doubt that he teaches through anecdotes. He presents himself as genuine, and is an undeniable part of his charm. Maestro will make an excellent tactical control commander one day, but his biggest liability is his need for change. Once he's conquered an objective, there's little keeping him interested, much to his own detriment. His ties to Alibi are a different story, however. They worked closely together during Operation Spider Wasp, with Maestro's unit taking down organised crime targets based on Alibi's intel. But this doesn't seem like the full story. Whatever other history they share remains unknown, for now. Maestro needs a carrot to remain invested in Team Rainbow, and this means presenting him with challenges that he's likely to fail at. It's been recommended that he step into the boxing ring with Smoke, against a boxer with more training and skill. Maestro grew up in the lower income neighbourhoods along Rome's waterfront, where he befriended local Romani children. He often talks about boxing with the Romani, a strong tradition in that culture. Another option is to arrange for Thatcher to take a personal interest in Maestro's development. Maestro has nothing short of genuine respect for Thatcher, enough to leave him tongue-tied around the SAS veteran. The state of that difference may forge a strong enough bond to keep Maestro invested in the Rainbow program. Maestro uses a remote-controlled turret called Evil Eye that fires high-energy laser beams. The turret is unaffected by bullets and melee, and can see through smoke. Once fixed onto the floor or wall, Maestro can remote survey and provide overwatch in a location through the swivel-mounted camera. When the camera device breaks open to fire a laser beam, the core is exposed to damage.
Illusions are fatal. If you waver, you're mine. If you pick wrong, you're mine.
Aria De Luca, codenamed Alibi, is a defending operator in Team Rainbow. Alibi was born in Tripoli, Libya, and immigrated with her family when she was 3 years old. Using his North African contacts, her father managed a small ordnance manufacturer, where he opened up exports to the region. Through the family business, Alibi gained extensive knowledge of Italian firearms and training on the shooting range. At the age of 18, Alibi entered the European Championships that was organised by the European Shooting Confederation. She won gold in both the 10-metre running target and 10-metre air pistol divisions. Shortly after the event, a Carabinieri recruiter approached her and convinced her to join the police force. Alibi's precision shooting skills and professionalism had her rise through the ranks quickly, and she served for a time with the elite ROS Special Operations Group in fighting organised crime. Eventually, she earned a spot in the prestigious GIS, and following a successful operation in Afghanistan, despite being separated from her unit, she was put forward for undercover work in organised crime. Utilising her extensive knowledge of firearms, Alibi infiltrated the Vinciguerra crime family as an arms dealer. She spent several years among them before bringing them down from the inside. Following on from undercover work and the successful job she did for dismantling the crime family, Alibi received an invitation to join Team Rainbow. Alibi puts up a front that can be difficult to read and even more of a challenge to extract information. This is likely from her years of undercover operations, but could also be a protective measure rooted from her childhood. She has a deep hatred of crime families, and if not watched, could compromise her ability to make rational decisions when it comes to organised crime. According to her records, Alibi's family had a large number of police reports associated with them. Her father managed to repeatedly break fingers, fall downstairs, and break his own arm twice. It would seem that they were the victims of a protection racket, where they were forced to pay a crime family for protection, and if they couldn't, well, the police and hospital records tell the rest. Alibi herself was never injured, and she shows the same mental strength that would be expected from all operators. But psychologically, the damage is deep, and this experience with organised crime at such a young age is what put Alibi down this path. The codename Alibi is quite interesting, given the circumstances that cut short the operation against the Vinciguerra crime family. In the GIS, Alibi is a decorated hero, with a gold medal for civil valour for her efforts. But there are some who believe she was the source of a leak that nearly sabotaged the operation. Alibi was quickly rising through the ranks within the crime family when she eventually gained access to a compound outside of Genoa that was central to the family's human trafficking operations. As an immigrant herself, she felt compelled to act when she saw the dozens of refugees waiting to be sold into slave labour and prostitution. She tried to convince her superiors to raid the Genoa compound, and they refused because they were still gathering intel. Following the meeting with their bosses, a reporter who cited a confidential informant released a story on the Genoa compound, forcing the GIS into action. Although never confirmed, if Alibi did leak the information to force the GIS to make a move, it shows that there are certain lines that she won't cross, which is important for the team. To get through to Alibi and get past her walls, Maestro plays an important part. They worked extensively together during the Vinci Guerra operations, where she would provide intel and his team would act on it. Their relationship seems to be closer than that, but there appears to be a level of volatility that is worth keeping an eye on. Fortunately, Alibi fits well in Rainbow, even after the hazing that both the SAS and SEALs operators seemed keen on inflicting. Alibi is a valuable addition to Team Rainbow, and her particular skills will keep the teams guessing during asymmetrical combat simulations. Prisma projects holograms identical to Alibi in an idle position. If the holograms are touched or shot, the attacker will be marked and pinged for the next few seconds. If Prisma is deployed outside, a false defender outside warning is triggered for attackers. To add an element of surprise, Prisma conceals the identity of any defender who ventures outside. Any bullet, melee, or explosive damages to Prisma will shoot through the hologram, and is advised not to stand too close. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the description for other operator videos, and links to my various social media like Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and all the other crap I should be attempting to grow. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!